Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
From Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg, he says, why do people from Sask pronounce guarantee that way? It's just my mom.
A guarantee?
Yeah, she has all kinds. That's just my mom, and I speak like her to honor her because she's not with us anymore. A guarantee, a chauffeur. Darren's my chauffeur. I refer to the couch as a Chesterfield because my mom did.
Yes! I haven't heard Chesterfield since my Nana was around.
Can I get a serviette, please?
Serviette?
People, what? What?
Yeah.
Well, most people will call it a napkin, but Judy Pedersen will call it a serviette. She left her serviette on the Chesterfield. That's a guarantee.
That's good. Put that in the story. The Chesterfield was like this weird blend of brown and red and orange. Of course. Right?
From my cousin Christine. She says, in the rumpus room. We had a rumpus room. Did you have a rumpus room?
We didn't, but our friends did. I was jealous of the rumpus room.
I bet you Chris is just loving this talk about my mom, Judith Ann Pedersen, nee Nicholas. Wayne in BC says, as I've said before, I believe the interaction between the RP show and the viewers is the best thing about the show. And I agree. From director Jordan, he says, reminds me very much of my grandparents. They had a rumpus room. Guaranteed. My mom had her own language, by the way. It was a sandwich, a chimney. Did you sweep the chimney, Jim?
Okay.
Did you sweep the chimney? We need to find a realtor. You know what I mean? Just everything.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Very exciting thing we got going on. It's with BetRegal.net. It's the Build Your Bank event.
We are giving away 2 tickets to the Grey Cup in Hamilton.
Ta-da!
How about that?
You need to sign up with the link we've provided. Click on it here. The link will be up at rodpedersen.com as well. Starting Monday, when you play at BetRegal.net for free, you'll build your bankroll, and the winner will go to the Grey Cup.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Happy Halloween, everybody. I know it's a little early. Look at this guy. I know that means nothing to our podcast listeners or listen live people, but
how about that?
How about me? How about this?
Ooh. Creepy.
Listen, it is very creepy. It's our Halloween episode. I've never done this before. I don't have the best Halloween costume here. This guy does. This is literally spooky. Creepy. How much you look like Ted Lasso. Man, you get it all the time.
I know.
Wow. Give us a thumbs up, Darren, please. Yeah, there. Look at this guy. Can we get a screenshot of that? So for the Jason Sudeikis Ted Lasso fans, there you go. You're welcome. Darren's been teasing this for weeks.
You know, it's funny.
Here we are.
I was saying I really, really, really badly wanted to dress up as Rip Wheeler because I got the brand.
Yeah.
But then the Ted Lasso stuff took off with the show, and I kind of had to.
My God, you're not even... My mind's jumping all over the place today, and it is our Halloween episode. I don't know how long we got to do this because we're going to get into some serious topics here in the warm-up for Recode Electric. As a matter of fact, I'm ready to rip this thing off right now. But we've got Halloween treats in here. This is not something that I would advise wearing while driving, nor riding a bike, or really doing anything, especially hosting a talk show. But I went down to that Halloween store. It was exactly where you said it would be.
It was it?
Yeah. And I perused the walls of masks, and this is the one that had the biggest wide open mouth space. That you can at least hear what I'm saying. Can you hear it okay?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
It sounds awesome.
I know what I'm doing. But you know what? I'm over it. Happy Halloween, and we're back. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, Perry Shockey texted me last night. You guys all remember Shockey Hockey? Perry Shockey, Perry S. Hockey? former coach of the Lethbridge Hurricanes, Spokane Chiefs, Regina Pats, and Moose Jaw Warriors. He texted me last night. He's got a son down in, Kalispell, Montana, somewhere around there. Whitefish, I think. Photos of all the Yellowstone gang. And Shocks was there. Wow. And his son, Jonathan. Rip, Casey, all those guys. And I said, you got to invite me the next time that you go down there.
No kidding. That's awesome. Well, and that, and then Bernie Nichols with the Yellowstone hat on. There's connections all over the place.
Exactly. Okay, so that's what we're doing on a FlameTech Football Friday. It's Halloween, and if you have any photos of yourself in your Halloween outfits and you're ready to go, send them to us. What the hell? Tweet them at us. Facebook to us, whatever. Coming up on the program today, we have Troy Westwood, the Hall of Fame Winnipeg Blue Bombers kicker, and AJ Jakubec, the voice of the Ottawa Redblacks and the pre- and post-host for the Ottawa Senators. And he's also the voice of the Ottawa 67's Junior A hockey team. So he's Mr. Ottawa. AJ will join us. And speaking of junior hockey, I am just tickled and pleased as punched about my evening tonight, and that is I'm going to watch the Moose Jaw Warriors against the Medicine Hat Tigers. Mm-hmm. I'm meeting Kevin Glenn for supper at 5 over in the Jaw. Tomorrow night, we got the Pats and the Broncos. You and I, no, just me calling it, not you.
I know.
And so, listen, it's a big old fun weekend lining up.
I'll be sitting beside you looking like this.
Are you coming to the game?
Yeah, well, why not? I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, you screwed yourself up here.
I screwed myself.
You thought you double booked yourself, and you booked yourself.
I literally told one person, no, I'm busy, and then I thought I had the other, and I didn't, and now I'm out.
It happens.
Yeah, it's okay.
We'll get to your comments in a moment, but let's hit the quick six show horn, please. And I didn't want to be wearing a goofy Halloween mask to read this story. This email I woke up to in my inbox from the Florida Panthers of the National Hockey League. The Florida Panthers have announced that head coach Joel Quenneville has resigned from his role with the club. An interim head coach announcement will be forthcoming following a meeting including Commissioner Gary Bettman, Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly, General Manager Bill Zito, and President and CEO Matthew Caldwell. Joel Quenneville tendered his resignation. Statement from the president of the Panthers, Matt Caldwell. After the release of the Jenner and Block investigative report on Tuesday afternoon, we've continued to diligently review the information within that report, in addition to new information that has recently become available. It should go without saying that the conduct described in that report is troubling and inexcusable. It stands in direct contrast to our values as an organization and what the Florida Panthers stand for. No one should ever have to endure what Kyle Beach experienced during and long after his time in Chicago. Quite simply, he was failed. We praise his bravery and courage in coming forward. Following a meeting with Commissioner Gary Bettman, which was part of the league's process to decide how to move forward, Joel made the decision to resign, and the Florida Panthers accepted that resignation. So I had 2 phone calls yesterday from Hockey Insiders saying not all of the truth has come out yet, Rod. You probably just want to take a knee on this, and I'm more than happy to do that. It's an incredibly ugly situation, clearly, that we are nowhere near the end of either, by the way. So I don't even know Joel Quenneville. I think this is a tough situation. You think Kevin Cheveldayoff's knees might be knocking a little today, huh? As he gets ready to go meet with Gary Bettman. Come on, it's like leading the Cavs to slaughter, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
It feels that way.
It does. I mean, it's crazy, but we kind of knew something was going to come out of the meeting. We didn't exactly know which way the NHL was leaning.
Oh, hang on. We got breaking news here. Robin Wildy and the Gateway to the North writes in and says, breaking news, no discipline for Kevin Cheveldayoff as per TSN. So, okay, sorry to interrupt, but that's important to point that out.
Well, it's important to, and I said this yesterday, it's important to figure out and get this right and do the work. Because you said yesterday or the day before that, why rush it now? Let's make sure we get it right. So Gary Bettman meets with Q yesterday to try and get this right. And the easy thing to do is just to light the house on fire, and anybody in the organization is done. That's the easy thing to do, because we don't want to actually dig through the dirt to figure out where the actual problems are. And we know that, John McDonough, I really believe that HR department's a problem. And we Stan Bowman and now Quenneville, right? Is it over there? If the NHL deems that those were the big issues, then I'm happy with it. Q's ultimately responsible. The coach is ultimately responsible for the players in that locker room, right? That's his locker room, his guys, to make sure that's going on. That's his coaching staff. So to not follow up and he ultimately feels some responsibility, and here we are today.
Yeah, and I know people want us to move on and not belabor this, but as they say, the Black Aces aren't even part of their locker room, not even part of the team, and a lot of people know that, a lot of people don't, but I don't feel like that, because that's the thing. My phone's been going off. People are like, why didn't Kyle Beach get up and punch him in the face? Yeah, you just don't understand. You don't know how this goes, so let's move on. That's the big news. Point 2, Thursday night in the National Hockey League, Freddie Anderson made 33 saves for his first shutout with Carolina, giving the Hurricanes their best 6-game start in franchise history with a 3-0 win over the Boston Bruins on Thursday night. Why is it that we knew that the Florida Panthers were off to their best start in franchise history, but I'm just now learning that the Carolina Hurricanes are off to their best start too? I think it's because it's Carolina.
It's gone a little bit under the radar.
Yeah.
And I know we didn't put them in our poll as who's the best team in the National Hockey League, but they should have. Buffalo winning is kind of the funny, not funny, but like the novelty, because they played really well.
They're winning too.
Continue to play well, but Carolina's unbeaten.
Rasmus Asplund scored his second goal with 43.9 seconds left in overtime, capping Buffalo's wild evening in which it blew a 3-goal lead before rallying to beat Anaheim 4-3. Ducks captain Ryan Getzlaf notched an assist for his 987th career point, moving him one behind Teemu Selanne for the Ducks all-time record. Pierre-Luc Dubois scored twice, and Kyle Connor had 3 helpers as Winnipeg used a third-period charge to defeat Los Angeles 3-2. Andrew Kopp had a power play goal for the Jets, who have won 4 in a row. Eric Comrie allowed 2 goals on 32 shots in his season debut. Hey, Darren, I was going to do this tweet where they do lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the Jets' backup goaltending. Eric Comrie makes 32 stops, and the Jets win.
That's good.
Jake Allen made 45 saves. Mike Hoffman scored for the 3rd straight game, and the Montreal Canadiens beat San Jose 4-0. It's their first win there in nearly 22 years. JT Compher scored 2 goals to help lead Colorado over St. Louis 4-3, handing the Blues their first loss of the year. Sean Couturier scored and added a helper as Philadelphia used a quick start to defeat Vancouver 2-1 at Rogers Place. Canucks are junk. You heard it here first. Carlisle, Saskatchewan's Hayden Fleury had the first 2-goal game of his career, and Brandon Tanev added his 6th of the season into an empty net as the Seattle Kraken beat Minnesota 4-1 at Climate Pledge Arena. I mean, it's one thing for the Kraken to destroy Montreal. Everybody does. But they just pulled down Minnesota's pants and gave them a spanking. Mm-hmm. Jake, when do we start paying attention to the Kraken? Probably not for a while. Yeah, I couldn't even say it with a straight face.
Not yet.
We got Ted Lasso with us here if he just tuned in. Any words of advice, Ted?
Keep working. Believe. If you're the Kraken.
I love it. Jacob, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Jacob Markstrom stopped 45 shots for his second shutout in his last 3 starts as the Calgary Flames beat Pittsburgh 4-0. I watched that one. They look good. The Flames are doing everything right. Mm-hmm. Johnny Gaudreau scored his first goal in the opening period, and Blake Coleman, Dylan Dubé, and Milan Lucic scored in the third as the Flames swept a 5-game road trip. And Alex Killorn scored twice in the first period, and Tampa Bay earned their first home victory of the season by beating Arizona 4-1, and pretty soon you're going to hear that the Coyotes are off to their worst start in franchise history. Going into this week, they had matched the worst start in franchise history. It's awful there. Point 3, Thursday night football. Everybody's talking about it. The game did not disappoint. This was like America's game of the week come early on Thursday night. Green Bay at Arizona kind of looked like Christmas, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Green and red.
Oh, I know.
In State Farm Stadium. The Green Bay Packers have knocked off the NFL's last unbeaten team. The Packers came away with a 24-21 win over the Cardinals when Kyler Murray threw a pick on 2nd and goal with 12 seconds remaining. They could have kicked the field goal to tie it, but no, Cliff Kingsbury wanted to go for the win, and it didn't work. The kick came shortly after the Packers were stopped on downs near the Arizona goal line. We're not going to debate the coaching decision there by Cliff Kingsbury because now you got to go for it, right? You got to go for the win. You got it.
Well, in that situation at the end, you have time to go for the win and then kick the field goal. And I've had text messages saying, why do you throw the ball from the 1-yard line? Because if you run the ball and don't get in, time expires and the clock keeps running. They didn't have any timeouts left. So you throw the ball in a position where he's either going to catch it and win the game or it's going to get knocked down and stop the clock, and then you kick the field goal or you get one more play to decide what you're going to do. But A.J. Green just stopped moving. And, I mean, how do you not look for the damn ball? That's unfortunate, but a heck of a defensive play.
You're saying why did he not break and turn around and look at his play?
I mean, he thought the play was going to go somewhere else because he was tied up with the defensive back. I get that, but you don't give up on a play. Not a game-winning play.
No.
He's a veteran.
Yeah. I'm just tweeting the links to watch the show, Darren, by the way.
Yeah, that's cool. Your defense just made a... Sorry. Well, you do that. The defense just made a great stop at the other end to give you a chance. Kyler Murray basically sacrificed his knee to give you the chance. And then you don't finish the play, and you let the defensive back make a really athletic play to seal the game. I mean, I don't know where this puts Green Bay. I mean, they did this without 3 receivers, including maybe the best receiver in football. Devontae Adams did it without some other key guys. I mean, no J.J. Watt for Arizona, but that was a statement for Green Bay.
Pausing to sprinkle in some of our viewer comments, and we're getting to the good stuff because it is a FlameTech Football Friday. You've been waiting all week for the CFL chatter. We'll spend far more time on it coming back in the second block. But as I welcome some of the viewers here from the Puck and Pigskin podcast regarding the Flames, and I said they're doing everything right. The Puck and Pigskin podcast and YYC says the Flames are doing everything right except defending their net. 45 shots against. Yikes. Come on, don't be that guy. Team it's their longest winning streak since, I think, ever. Brandon Parker said yesterday, we're giving up too many shots.
Best start since 01.
You're paying your goalie $6 million a year. He stopped every one of them. Can you just be happy for once? I was driving through the drive-through this morning, the coffee shop, and I'm like, there's so much bloody hate out there. I'm not saying you with the Flames. You're a Flames fan. I'm just like, can you just spend a day being happy instead of looking for something? Could we all make a pact to do that for a day?
How about that?
I think there would be a major shift in everybody's mood if we just for one day were grateful for something and didn't look for something to bitch about.
I agree. I agree.
Jeff in Winnipeg writes in, Jeff Cabillas, Ted Lasso sitting in for Dupes. Oh, wait. Like the guy gets it every single day. Okay, I'm around him every single day. That's coming up every now this.
So I just decided I'll just embrace it. Dump it for a day and
you're going to shave that cheese off, aren't you?
I don't know.
I'm just wondering if you're going to walk around like this.
What does the bracelet say?
One day at a time.
One day at a time, right?
Yeah. I was watching the highlights this morning on SportsCenter. I can't remember the game. Was there a fight in the Philly-Vancouver game last night, or was it the Calgary-Pittsburgh? Everything's running together. The last 24 hours have been a blur. But anyways, the guys both had mustaches. I'm like, what year is it?
I know.
1978? Like, I'm not against it. I'm not anti-mustache. But it's just interesting. From my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat regarding the last play of Thursday Night Football, she says, I'd go for the tie. Well, Christine, that's why you're sitting there, and that's why I'm sitting here. Talking about the guys that are doing it down there. Kelly Bale writes in and says, I'm with you on the happiness. I'm grumpy 24/7 for little reason. Yeah, just find something to be happy about. Just today. Because you know what? You can do anything for one day. Anything. You can stay sober. You can be happy. You can be positive. Just for one day. Let's try that and see how it works.
It's what I've learned from you.
Yes.
And this band. You do it for one day, and then guess what?
You stack them up.
You want to do it for a second day, and then another day, and then another day. And I call it the 100% rule, and I've heard of that before. And it's you got to be 100% in. You can't be 50% in.
No.
And when you're 100% in, then you don't want to fail because you got a streak going. And then it builds and builds and builds, and all of a sudden,
that's a fact, Jack.
You're where you want to be.
The warm-up's brought to you by eCode Electric. Our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. eCode Electric, let's get to work. I read the CFL game notes this morning for the Week 13 games. I'm all ready to go. Okay. So we'll tackle that when we come back. Plus, Week 8 of the National Football League. It's the RP show you're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Peterson Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Peterson Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Peterson Show.
Welcome back, everybody. We are on the air with the FlameTech Football Friday, and we need to talk football because it's FlameTech Football Friday. But go to our social media. The responses have been very cute and funny with our photos of Ted Lasso over here, Darren Dupont going after. Look at that. You love it. Are you a guy that just loves Halloween?
No, not typically.
You've dressed up every year.
But with this show, like, I'll wear this, but I'm not going out. I'll sit at the door and hand out candy, and I'll watch a scary movie. I like a little bit of that. But I've never been like, go to the bar and try and have the most elaborate costume and win all the prizes. This show has made it a little bit fun because it's kind of a safe, protected space, right? I can do it, have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
So
Football Friday is brought to you by FlameTech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. Tell your friends we're about to talk CFL here right now for maybe this entire block. And then we'll be joined by Troy Westwood. But one thing that I've said, can we please try for one day to not bitch and be happy? And it looks like it's catching on. And where's my guy, Jack, in Calgary area? He writes in, he says, we live in a culture of offense, hate, self-centeredness, division. Let's have a theme of don't worry, be happy. Love the Rod Squad. You know, it's not as hard as you think. Ryan McCarthy watching in Saratoga, New York, says, I quit drinking for sober October, down 8 pounds. Hashtag, how about that? Congratulations. I'm going to be that guy. I'm calling up my app. I got 2,467 days. So good for you, Ryan.
That's awesome. 30's good, too. Or
one is good.
Yeah.
One's good for a lot of people, to be honest with you. Ryan Gregory writes, okay, just hang on, Ryan on YouTube. See, he writes in and says, Chevy's keeping his job. What's your thoughts? Let's pause on that for a second. Because what we talk about, we want to be NHL first on the hockey show, and they want our opinions on Kevin Cheveldayoff. You see that, folks? So I'll get to that. You remind me before the end of this segment.
Sure.
But I want to talk about the fact that there is a doubleheader in the Canadian Football League tonight. The deal or no deal thing was fun. I can go back and have a look. It begins with Calgary at Ottawa, a battle of red and black teams. Stamps are favored by 11. 5 p.m. kickoff Mountain, followed by the Hamilton Tiger Cats at the Edmonton Elks tonight, 8 p.m. Mountain. The Ticats are favored by 5.5. Here's the interesting thing from me reading the game notes today. And largely, obviously, I was most interested in the Saskatchewan-Montreal game, which will round out week 13. It's voted Canada's game of the week. And we can talk about tonight's games in a minute. But it seems very unlikely, I'm not sure how you've been following this, Darren, but that there will be a crossover this year.
Right.
And that's significant because we've always felt, for those of us that live out in the Western Canada here, that fourth playoff spot, that crossover was almost like a given. For years, it was the safety net for that fourth team, and they're not going to have it this year. So it's put a lot of urgency on these last couple of weeks, obviously, in the regular season. So if Montreal wins and Toronto wins, all he needs one. Hamilton needs to win 2, which will probably happen. No crossover. So that's interesting.
And that's barring those West teams running the table.
Right.
Right? So combination of losses and wins, too. So it is very interesting. We haven't seen this in a while.
No. And then you wonder how the Ottawa Redblacks will come out. It's been 5 days since they fired their general manager, Marcel Desjardins, and say it with me, doesn't it feel like a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
After this week? Like, what a week!
We all need the weekend now. Didn't think we don't usually. You and I hate the weekend because it's like, the weekends feel too long. We can't wait to get back here to work. But I think this week it feels like could use a weekend.
Right. Well, and if you go and listen to my commentary today on Cat Country 98 and Rock 98 FM, I said treat yourself. Whatever it is that makes you happy. For a lot of people at CFL football, for me at CFL football, I'm not going to be watching tonight because I'm going to the Jaw and going for a supper with one of my best friends. And then tomorrow, calling God's team on television, the Regina Pats. That just makes me feel good and warm and fuzzy. And whatever your thing is, go do it. And it's probably for a lot of people it is watching CFL football, right? And that's what the CFL wants, by the way. Cuddle up by the TV, gather the family around. That's what they want. Let's get those ratings up. I don't know how the games will be tonight. And that's how I am a little different than most. How many times this week have I said that I've long been a fish swimming upstream? I just enjoy the games because I like to watch the broadcasters. They're my friends. I like to watch the players. They're my friends, the coaches, this and this. And the games haven't been that great, but they haven't been that terrible either. But what are we expecting tonight? I think Calgary's going to go in and mollywop Ottawa. Unless you think the Redblacks are going to... Usually after a firing, there's that spike. I don't care what team, what league. Guys feel guilty.
Right. But this is
what's the guilty factor tonight for the Ottawa? What is the guilt factor?
I think it's a touchdown.
7 points.
7 points. But what's the spread? 11? I think it's 11.5, the spread.
Yeah.
So that guilty factor might get you close. But in the end, I think Calgary still wins the football game because of it. Now, they got no problem on Twitter. I saw we posted it, telling me I'm full of you-know-what.
Who?
With the deal or no deal. The fans.
Oh, I thought you meant Stan Peters.
And I went like 0-4 last week on these picks. So, I mean, I'm a football coach. I don't know anything about soccer. And I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You're good. Now, my cousin Christine wrote in here, and she asked if we got out to the farm. Clark, I sent you 2 photos. Please disregard the first one. And the second one is a photo we'll put up here for my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat, who I feel like we've reconnected here through this show. And how amazing is that? Not that we were disconnected. It's just that we've connected again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chris. You let me know when you got the photo ready. Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says, wait a minute. There's still a bonanza in Moose Jaw? No, there isn't. That's a false alarm. Stop. And it's a sore subject.
It was by the Superstore.
It was right where I think it is the Superstore.
Oh.
It was right at the corner of Main Street and Thatcher Drive. And it's gone. So stop. Stop it. I don't want to talk about it. So, Chris, yeah, this is from yesterday. If you can throw that up. The Moose and I, pardon me, went out there. That's the Quonset. And parked Big Bird in the barn, in the Quonset. And Darren was lucky enough to be privy to a conversation between myself and my brother yesterday. How scintillating was it, Moose?
Woo! It was pretty good. I like it. Words I don't want to say on the show.
Oh, there was a lot of swearing going on, I'll tell you that. See, I made it out to the farm yesterday. I showed Darren the house that I should have taken a photo of that I lived in for the first year of my life. What did you think, Darren?
The house?
And be honest, of the house.
The shoebox.
Is tiny.
It's a shoebox. I mean, but I don't know if kids deal with that anymore. Like, I mean, me and my brother shared a bedroom for the first, 10 years of my life that was about the size of your desk.
Okay.
Bunk beds and room to walk beside the bunk beds. It was basically a closet with a window, right? And then we, got a little bit older, and we ended up doing a renovation, and we got a bigger room. We each got our own room. How about that? But I get it, yeah. First year of your life in the little house, and then...
How about that?
Voila.
Lee, if you're watching now...
Beautiful.
I don't think we had flush toilets in there. I was one. I don't remember, but I don't think we had flush toilets in there.
I like the drive
How about
out
that?
there. Beautiful land.
It was a beautiful drive.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
They're wondering if there's still a Fuddruckers in Saskatoon. Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back?
Remember when we went there and you paid homage to the grounds that the Bonanza was on that burnt down? You went down, took a knee.
I can find that photo, too.
Took a knee. We took some photos. You guys said a prayer. We had a little service.
Just back up for a second. There was a Bonanza on 8th Street in Saskatoon that I went to with Luke Mullender, my former color commentator, 10-year CFLer. He pulled his chair up to the buffet, to the south. I've never seen that before. And his eyes started rolling around in his head, and he threw a towel over his shoulder, and he just dug in. Nobody had a problem with him, but look at him. He's Canada's version of The Rock. So anyways, that Bonanza burned down. So a few years later, Luke and I went to the site where the Bonanza used to stand, and you're right, we took photos of giving our respects.
Yeah.
Love me some Bonanza. Anyways, as my cousin Chris points out, because she spent some time in that house, there was no flush toilets in that house that I lived in for the first year of my life. So how about that? So if you want to know why I'm the way I am, did you feel like you were in a scene from Yellowstone yesterday? You must have.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Of course I did. It was awesome.
Hamilton at Edmonton tonight, 8 p.m. Mountain. What did I say? The Elks are, no, the Ticats favored by 5.5. I got it written down here. Hang on. Let me go to the big board for betregal.net. Ticats favored by 5.5. And were you taking the deal?
Oh, yeah. It's not enough.
You think you're going to kick the crap out of them?
Well, I mean, everybody's got a chance You know, they're a good team. They're all professional players. They're all going to try hard. But I think Hamilton will win, by a couple touchdowns. Just as a betting guy, that's what I would bet. I would take the spread. I'd take the deal.
Going to be a good night of football. 6 hours of football on TSN. Jeff Cabillas watching in Winnipeg says, Rod Tebowed at the Bonanza grounds?
He did.
I absolutely did. And if you'd been to that Bonanza, you'd know why. Can we get Westwood on what is his favorite buffet? Doesn't have to just be in Winnipeg. Anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got?
Is there any Bonanzas left anywhere?
Not one.
No.
I don't think so. Can somebody let me know? I didn't even get around to the Canada's Game of the Week. So in the 60 seconds we have left, here's my take on what was voted Canada's Game of the Week by you people. The Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Montreal Alouettes. Both teams 6-4. The Alouettes have won 4 in a row. And if they win this one on Saturday, it'll be their longest winning streak since 2014. Riders favored by 1.5 points. We're not taking that deal, right?
Right.
We're taking the Alouettes to win. And they'll clinch a playoff berth, by the way, if they do. Saskatchewan Roughriders are 26-0 when carrying a lead into the fourth quarter. How about that?
How about that?
Goes back to 2017. Goes back to 2017 when Chris Jones was running the show. So it's Canada's Game of the Week, and we think Montreal is going to win. Those are just some of the game notes. We'll be back to talk about more of them later. But Troy Westwood joins us next to talk about the best team in the CFL by a country mile, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and the news of the day that Kevin Cheveldayoff is not being disciplined by the National Hockey League. We learned that this morning. See you in a bit, Moose.
See you next hour.
It's a FlameTech Football Friday. You're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. A FlameTech Football Friday continues. Trey Westwood coming up, but there is breaking news, and this is why we do daytime sports talk to analyze it. The NHL announcing Friday morning it will not discipline Winnipeg Jets general manager Kevin Cheveldayoff, saying he is not responsible for the Chicago Blackhawks mishandling of sexual assault allegations against a former assistant coach, Gary Bettman. The commissioner said Cheveldayoff, who was the Blackhawks assistant GM at the time, was not a member of the senior leadership team. This 12 hours after Joel Quenneville resigned as the head coach of the Florida Panthers after meeting with Bettman yesterday. And we'll start there with Troy Westwood, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers great, and come around to the blue. Troy, hey, good to see you, man. It's been far too long. How do you think this news will go over in Winnipeg today, and are you surprised by it at all?
I am surprised by it, for sure. I think especially after seeing Quenneville step down and resign, I am surprised by it. And I don't know Kevin Cheveldayoff very well. I know in a larger scale that by all indications, he's a good and decent man. I think for us, like this is such a important and I guess delicate subject you would call it, but I hope at some point in time, I don't know what it is about human nature where we have so many examples of this happening, Rod, over the last number of years in sports. And we see people making the decision to not speak out. And I have trouble understanding that. A lot of trouble understanding that. Even when jobs are on the line for something of the magnitude of sexual abuse happening to a child or a young man, whatever the case may be, and you know, there's a number of examples in the sports world, but when folks make that decision to be silent, you are complicit in that silence. And I hope that we're all able to take a large step as a community to refuse going forward to be silent in these situations.
Very well said. And I guess I'll throw in that I'm shocked that he was not disciplined either for all the reasons you just said. Like if Quenneville was, how was Cheveldayoff? But as I just read in the CP story, he was deemed not a member of the senior leadership team. But I guess, Troy, can I say this? You're a very compassionate guy. You're a very worldly guy. Before we move to football, how do you think this has impacted, let's just say sports, but the world in general with regards to sexual abuse like this? What's the positive that can be brought out of this?
Gee whiz. The positive, it's hard to identify positive, I think, brother, but I guess, and it's not a positive, but I hope, Rod, I really deeply and profoundly hope that we as a community in a large sense, be it the sports world or the rest of the world, and we're seeing it so many instances of this where people know of things going on and they just don't speak up. And that's the whole thing. It doesn't matter what you're talking about in life, a number of examples, if it's domestic abuse and violence, or if it's sexual abuse for individuals, kids, young adult, whatever it might be, silence. You just can't, you have to refuse to be silent. And maybe some sort of campaign needs to begin to help us all speak up. And I guess in certain situations, there's a certain level of, you have to be brave, or you have to be willing to possibly lose your job and pay some sort of price in the short term. But for the love of Pete, you would hope, Rod, that we all can become a better society by refusing to be silent.
Crime Stopper says it in the police. If you see something, say something. If you know something, say something. Very well said, Troy. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are 9-1. They've clinched first place. What's it like over there?
They're 10-1. Let's get that straight.
Sorry, 10-1. Can we start that again? The Winnipeg Blue Bombers are 10-1. What's it like over there?
Hey, man, I've been asking around to everybody I know, and I grew up here. I saw the teams in the 80s. You know, I saw those teams, man, some of those dynastic teams and eras. I've asked everybody, have you ever seen a Bomber team this dominant? And across the board, Rod, everybody says no. And I wonder, when you see like the over 300 points, 4 just barely over 100 above that fourth quarter stat of they've scored over 100 points in the fourth quarter and have given up, 6 points or something impossible like that. It's just this level of dominance, Rod. It's something to behold. And I'm not going to say, whatever unfolds during the playoffs here and the Grey Cup, but, you don't want to create any sort of jinx situation, man. But my God, do they look good, and what a wicked opportunity they have to repeat as Grey Cup champs after the bizarreness of the missed COVID season, winning it the year previous to that, and that brutal drought for near 30 years before that. They're just in a fantastic situation.
And I never thought about this, but it came up outside of Manitoba. It was the 16-2 Edmonton Eskimos who lost the West Final in '89 to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. You know what I'm saying? Is there any chance that Osh
can lose?
Yeah. Is there any chance Osh would let that happen?
That's an interesting way to phrase it, isn't it? Would a head coach let that happen? Like, sometimes I know that Bob Cameron always spoke of the best team he ever played on was, I believe it was the 1987 Bombers, and they went in, and I think that they got it handed to them by Toronto. And the bizarre thing in sports, we talk about it all the time, Rod, where it's not like a hockey series, right, where it's best of 7, and you can have an off game or two and still come out alive on the other side of that series. It's a one-off, and say, a couple turnovers, couple of mistakes, and bam, all of a sudden you start feeling pressure and panicky. And when you're at home and you're in such a dominant way, the way the Bombers have been this season, and they got a home game and they're expected to roll over whoever happens to be the unfortunate individual team coming in there for that West Final. If a couple things in that game go wrong early on, then you never know what can happen. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen, does it? Like, they're just looking awesome. And they're going to be ready to go. It's not going to be on the head of Mike O'Shea should there be some impossible thing that unfolds and they don't go on to the Grey Cup.
Yeah, I think the reason I said Osh was for the reason of motivation and preparation. I think it's clear they have the best coaching staff, right? You know what I mean?
And one of the strengths since right out of the gate here with him, and the patience early on in this process with Wade Miller, Kyle Walters, and Mike O'Shea, the most fun I have, or what I enjoy the very most, Rod, in watching their level of success right now is because of how patient they were in the early stages, where a bunch of fans wanted O'Shea gone and were complaining about this and that, but just sticking to it is what they did under Miller and Walters, and seeing the benefits of it now with the Canadian Mafia is a bunch of fun. But one of the strengths, I think, of what Mike O'Shea has brought to the table and has emphasized this right from the start is separating each week. And whatever you did last week doesn't matter, win or lose. This is a new situation this week in the here and now. And similar to maybe what Bill Belichick has done in the Patriots during their heyday, that's kind of the same mentality he's brought, where it just doesn't matter what's happened, what's coming, what's behind us. It is right now in the here and now. I think he's done a brilliant job with this group during his time here.
You would be the guy. We got 2 minutes left here. You would be the guy to analyze the Bombers' kicking situation, because we got a lot of friends over there in Winnipeg, and all I keep hearing is 10-1, but the kicking is atrocious. How would you analyze it?
Yeah. Well, whoever was going to come on the stage following Elvis, Justin Medlock, was going to be in trouble, right? There was going to be a bit of a dip. But I think now I was a little bit surprised at how patient, and you can be patient with a specific position, this one kicking, when you're winning games, right? If they were losing a couple of those games and kickers played a role in that, I think you would have seen more of a mass exodus, more guys flown in, that sort of thing. I don't know what their plan is going forward here, but certainly with Castillo being brought in now that they've got, the job will likely go to him at some point in time. But I think that they've solved that. But yeah, it was a bit of a funk there. Maybe that was just for all the goodwill that they had under the remarkable Justin Medlock. Maybe they just kind of had some of that coming to him after every time that guy walked out in the field, you knew that 3 points were going up on the board.
Don Solar's watching on YouTube. He says, hey, from Winnipeg. Nice to see Troy. Still miss him. And rants with Jim Toth. Westy, I get it all the time. People are like, how's Westwood? How's Westwood? I said, he's doing great. Would I be right when I say that?
Absolutely. I work for a great company here in Winnipeg called Gust & Quan. Fantastic culture. Love the whole team. Having a lot of fun, Rod. Really enjoying life.
I know you are, and I'm proud of you. Way to go.
Hey,
and let's do this in the playoffs. What do you got?
Yes, and it's just kind of strange seeing you around without palm trees. You had that stretch of however many weeks that was, for the love of goodness.
It's been too long without.
Get a job.
Stay tuned. Exactly. Thanks, Troy.
Yeah. Take care, brother.
The great Troy Westwood joining us from Winnipeg. He's a good one. Sports update next. It's a FlameTech Football Friday. You're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of fire. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. We got a lot going on today. The Moose will be back in hour 2, and we're going to kick this thing off again. Our Halloween special. How about that? I got my spooky Moose Jaw Warriors pullover on today. I can't wait to get over there tonight. Sports update. Breaking news from this Friday morning. The National Hockey League says it will not discipline Winnipeg Jets general manager Kevin Cheveldayoff, saying he is not responsible for the Chicago Blackhawks' mishandling of sexual assault allegations against a former assistant coach. The announcement comes after Chevy met with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman in New York this morning to discuss whether he had a role in the Blackhawks' response to sexual assault allegations made by player Kyle Beach against coach Brad Aldrich during the team's 2010 Stanley Cup run. Bettman said Cheveldayoff, who was the Blackhawks assistant GM at the time, was not a member of the senior leadership team. I know it's a FlameTech Football Friday, but frankly, it's what everybody's talking about in my world. We'll talk about this more next hour with Darren, because I don't honestly really see the difference here. I had HR people tell me yesterday, Quenneville will be gone by the end of the day. And I'm like, but I don't understand why. His job's to coach the team, not contact to the police and investigate this. That's other people's job. But I just don't understand. And as the guy called me last night, he's a hockey guy, but he goes, Rod, what the hell did he say? Principles cost me my job, so be careful. Be careful sticking up for what's right. What? Anyways, the Toronto Maple Leafs have signed defenseman Morgan Rielly to an 8-year contract extension worth $60 million. Riley's the longest-serving member of the team after being drafted by Toronto 5th overall in 2012. The former Moose Jaw Warrior has 309 points over 580 career NHL regular season games with the Leafs. That's not bad for a D-man. There are 6 games on the ice tonight with the Ottawa Senators, the only Canadian team in action. Ottawa is in Dallas. The first of a 3-game road trip for the Sens. The World Series shifts to Atlanta for Game 3 tonight after the Braves and Astros split the first 2 in Houston. In addition, Ian Anderson goes to the mound for the Braves in their first World Series home game since 1999. He'll be opposed by Luis Garcia, the only pitcher to go 8 innings in a game this postseason. The Raptors welcome the Orlando Magic to Scotiabank Arena in NBA play tonight. The game features a matchup of highly touted rookies Scotty Barnes and Jalen Suggs. Raps selected Barnes 4th overall in the 2021 NBA draft. Magic selected Suggs 5th. It's a FlameTech Football Friday. We got to talk about this. Calgary Stampeders and Hamilton Tiger Cats can both gain ground in the standings tonight. Calgary's in Ottawa. Calgary 3rd in the CFL West, and a win would bring their record up to 500. Later on tonight, Hamilton visits Edmonton, visiting an Elks team who's last in the West. Last minute of play in the first hour. Who's that sponsored by, Clark? Have we got one yet? Sponsored by Manscaped. It's the Manscaped last minute of the first hour. A win for Hamilton will help the third-place Ticats keep pace with Montreal and Toronto in the East Division. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. Book your group or business Christmas party now for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg writes in, he says, Bisons versus Huskies at IG Field Saturday. I'll be there for my first Bison game in 8 years. Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Coming up next hour, it's just going to be fantastic. AJ Jakubec, the voice of the Redblacks, pre- and post host for the Sens, and Ted Lasso after this break on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Very exciting thing we got going on. It's with betregal.net. It's the Build Your Bank event.
We are giving away 2 tickets to the Grey Cup in Hamilton.
Ta-da!
How about that?
You need to sign up with the link we've provided. Click on it here. The link will be up at rodpedersen.com as well. Starting Monday, when you play at betregal.net for free, you'll build your bankroll, and the winner will go to the Grey Cup.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Very special day. It's our annual Halloween episode of the Rod Pedersen Show. We're pulling out all the stops. And as you see, Darren never misses a chance to dress up for Halloween. And Darren, the viewers can see this on Game Plus and our streaming channels. The listeners cannot. Tell them what you...
They're going to have to go to the social media streams. I'm sure there'll be something up there soon. Yeah, I gave into it for the day. Shaved the beard, left the mustache, and... did the whole Ted Lasso thing.
You look a lot like the coach of the Saskatoon Blades, Brendan Sawney, if I'm being honest here right now. But
I wondered about that. I didn't think I got the mustache quite right. No, he wears it well. I don't know if he gets the Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
everybody with a mustache must at some point, but no.
And I had a lot of fun reliving my youth, going to the Halloween store yesterday, and just picking out the just right mask, the one that had a hole in it, so that I could speak into the microphone and nobody would notice.
Yeah.
Not a muffled...
like a plastic bag.
Right. And to be honest with you, I had a mask when I was in high school of Brian Mulroney.
Did you?
And I had it for years.
How about
I busted that thing out like 10 years after he was the prime minister. Remember those rubber masks that were so good?
Oh, yeah.
I tried to find one yesterday, and they didn't have any of celebrities.
Okay.
They had killer clowns and blah, blah, blah.
Not the same.
But no celebrities. So they had a plastic mask of Trump. I'm like, that's not, nope, can't speak through that hole.
No.
So I got this thing here right now, whatever this is, this ghost head. And I got to show my Moose Jaw Warriors pullover because I'm going to Mosaic Place tonight, the Rempel Temple, to watch the Warriors in the
right.
Am I leaving this thing on?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I did think it was funny. How long can I wear this? Because we got some pretty serious subjects to talk about. I don't want to be wearing this when I'm talking about Joel Quenneville, but it's Halloween, so.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave it on for a while, or at least until I get too hot. But like I said, I wouldn't want to be driving in this thing. I wouldn't want to be trick-or-treating in this thing. I'd be smucked in a millisecond.
I like it. It's kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies a little bit, the mask. I watched the Halloween movie, the latest Mike Myers installment, and it was jumpy. I mean, I was stressed for 2 hours straight.
Well, that was Tuesday night, eh?
Yeah.
For Landmark Cinemas.
That's right.
Yeah.
Went to Landmark, saw Halloween Kills. Very good, by the way. And I left there being like, what just happened? What just happened?
Oh, good.
So if you want to see it, you got some the weekend, yeah.
Prairie Mobile text line is open. We'd love to hear from you of all the topics of the day. 306-840-8777. That's 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. 2 comments from Leighton in BC. He says, come on down to YouTube, which everybody's doing. It's becoming a thing. Shoot, I heard Facebook's going to change its name.
Already did.
What is it now?
Meta. Now, Facebook, we'll get into the business here. Meta is
Make it quick.
Is what they're called. Facebook, the app, not changing its name. So the social network is still called Facebook, but the parent company that runs everything is called Meta because they're moving from the 2D world into like the metaverse and all these other different technological advancements. So it's called Meta, but Facebook, the social network, not changing.
Like Meta World Peace.
Sure.
And Troy, watching in Toronto, says, please take it off. I'm having flashbacks. To what? Now I got to know what. Do you have Week 8 NFL picks for us to get to?
I do.
For Bet Regal?
We do.
So we got to get going here, an hour or two for Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. I don't understand something. And that's fine. Never said I was that smart. But I said yesterday that I don't think Joel Quenneville should be suspended while there's an investigation ongoing about his role with Chicago. Of course, I got lambasted. That's fine. I don't care. But there was an HR guy that wrote into our website, rodpeterson.com, to my commentary and said, Quenneville will be gone by the end of the day. He's an HR guy. And I said to Darren just in the break, I said, I don't understand the HR world. I understand what I think is right, that moral barometer. And I feel that, frankly, the people that were responsible for protecting Kyle Beach are gone. Joel Quenneville's job was to coach the team, not launch a police investigation or that. In the middle of a Stanley Cup run, I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. There's a lot of other guys that had blood on their hands and they're gone. Wasn't Quenneville's job. And as a guy said to me last night, stand down on your, while you're right, just maybe don't, because this might not end well for Quenneville, and it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so you as a CEO type, and I guess a little more HR type, you get this? It's because of optics? Is that the deal?
Well, optics, but also responsibility. And I think, it's a little of column A, a little of column B, right? I mean, Quenneville's job at that time is to coach his hockey team, right? And so you're right about that. But it's also to protect his players and that locker room. Now, Kyle Beach isn't really in his locker room, right? But the coach is. Coach is part of that. So he looks up to the guys around him to do your job. You said in the meeting you were going to take care of it. Take care of it. And if they would have, it would have been fine. If the HR department would have launched a real investigation like they probably should have, it would have been fine. But it didn't happen. And I think where Quenneville feels responsible, because I think he's got some integrity. I don't think you'd be around the game long enough if you didn't have integrity, if you weren't a good person. And I think, I don't think Quenneville would resign if he didn't feel responsible. I mean, yes, you can be forced to resign and all that, but I do think he takes a little bit of this responsibility because it's his locker room and his players, and he feels that responsibility to the players. Any good coach does. And I think at the end of the day, him not following up and checking in with McDonough, with the HR department, has this been taken care of? What's happened? What do I need to know? By not doing that, that's where Quenneville becomes at fault.
Yeah, and, we can blur the lines of other leagues, like when Quenneville resigned last night, whether the NHL made him or the Florida Panthers made him or he was going to be fired otherwise. I had people say to me, the commissioner can't make the Panthers get rid of him. Right. Oh, yeah, he can. They're not supposed to. But I know a story of a team hiring an assistant coach who had a checkered past, and I think you know the story, and the commissioner calling the team president and saying, you're unhiring him. No, we're not, and you can't make us do that. That commissioner says, I'm going to come to the stadium and kick your ass. And I believe the commissioner showed up at the stadium, and that coach was unhired. So I don't care what's supposed to happen, what's in the bylaws of what can and can't happen. That gets blurred fast.
For sure it does.
So here we are. Mark Zozel's watching in Melfort, where they do the Melfort Shuffle. He says, I'm watching the spooky at Rod Pedersen show. Rod must have taken the day off. This thing's like a welding mask. Your brother's a welder?
Yeah.
So you know what it's like.
Oh, yeah.
This thing's hot. Imagine what those guys are going through.
I know.
Taking it off, can't. Did it for a while. From Jim Vancha, watching on YouTube. He says, best you've looked, Rod, in 602 episodes. Boom. Thursday night football. The Green Bay Packers knocked off the Arizona Cardinals 24-21 at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona last night. Both teams emerged from the game at 7-1. Here's what I was thinking watching the Packers, who looked, I thought, very efficient last night. Darren, I don't know how much of the game you watched, but imagine how good Aaron Rodgers would be if he was happy. Remember? Yeah. All the strife, all the back and forth going into the season. We didn't even think he was going to play. His best friends were telling us that he's not even going to play this year. Now they go into Green Bay or into Arizona on Thursday Night Football and win 24-21, and now they might very legitimately be the best team in the NFL, and they were missing their top 3 receivers.
I know.
And literally nobody other than my cousin Christine is saying that they should have kicked a field goal, the Cardinals, to tie the game. Because you notice they lost by 3? They went to throw a touchdown on the last play on 2nd and long. I'm not sure what yard line they were on, 5 or 7 yard line?
No, they were on like the 1 yard line.
Was that close?
They were right down. And it wasn't going to be the last. It didn't have to be the last play. It ended up being the second last play because Rodgers came out and kneeled it down.
Right.
But they didn't have to throw it. They could have kicked the field goal. But look, you're out of timeouts. You got like 7 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever it was left, maybe 10. You got time to make that play, let it go incomplete, and then kick the field goal, right? But what you don't bank on or count on is the receiver completely giving up on it and the defensive back coming up with the interception in the end zone. And so Kyler Murray kind of really sacrificed his knee, which we don't know the health of Kyler Murray. At least I haven't seen anything yet this morning. It might have come out. And they lost the game on the last play. Crazy.
From Dan, the Jets fan, writes in and says, it could have been a different outcome if Green would have turned around at the end zone. Ifs and buts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, he says, Dan, hey, it's 11-11. How about that? 1-11 for our Eastern friends. I thought he was going to talk about Cheveldayoff. Somewhere on here, I think it was Drager. Oh, here it is. It's the statement from Kevin Cheveldayoff. Do you want to hear it?
Mm-hmm.
The pride of Blaine Lake Sask. The following is a statement from Winnipeg Jets General Manager Kevin Cheveldayoff following today's meeting with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman. Here's the quote. First and most importantly, I want to express my support of and empathy for Kyle Beach and all he has had to endure since 2010. He was incredibly brave coming forward to tell his story. We can all use his courage as an inspiration to do a better job of making hockey a safer space for anyone who wants to play the game. Further, I want to express my gratitude to the National Hockey League for the opportunity to meet with Commissioner Gary Bettman in person and directly share my role in and recollection of events while I was assistant GM of the Chicago Blackhawks in 2010. Unquote. So thank you to the Winnipeg Jets for sending me that. We had it right hot off the presses and back to business for Chevy. The question is, by the way, where do we know where the Jets go from here onwards and upwards? Where do the Florida Panthers go from here?
Yeah, just to touch on that Jets for a second, and Chevy's in an interesting spot because he wasn't senior management at the time. He was still in that meeting. He's the one who gets to learn from this. And as and I'm sure he has, clearly, as he now is in an upper management role, how he conducts himself and how his organization is built and the things that have happened. But that's good because, we move on and we get the people that are responsible. The Florida Panthers, you got to find a new coach. Andrew Burnett will be the interim head coach. And we'll see what type of culture that they really have in Florida. Quenneville obviously had a good culture in Florida. They were winning games. He had turned things around, started building a winning formula. And Andrew Burnett and the rest of the coaching staff will be a strong part of that, a real strong part of that. So what I'm wondering now, what's going on in Florida, are they going to be content to just keep that group together and let Andrew Burnett ride this out as long as he can and see if the success can continue? Or are they going to be looking for somebody to step in and actually take on the head coaching role? And if that's the case, what direction do they go? And I think because of what was built, because of the direction they had, they probably look to somebody that's been around, a senior level person.
Here we go. And there's nothing wrong with it, but one of the viewers on YouTube here, Mark Sports Video, says, so an assistant manager can't say anything? Here we go. I'm done. We went way farther on this than I even wanted to today. My cousin Christine in Medicine Hat says, poll question? We never came up with one. And you know what? Dagnabbit. I had one earlier in the week. We were saving it for all week. Remember, it was from the guy in London, Ontario watching. He emailed us a week ago today, and he goes, here's a great idea for a poll question. Which streak goes longer or which ends first, however you want to look at it? Arizona Cardinals win streak, Detroit Lions losing streak. And I'm like, guys, great question from a viewer in London, Ontario. Mm-hmm. Ted Lasso over here is like, just wait, let's hang on to it till Friday. Well, don't.
I should have said Thursday.
Yes. Where were you on that one, Ted?
Making biscuits.
Having biscuits.
Having biscuits. You know what? Shucks, I just forgot. Oh,
that's
but good. I kind of thought if we were going the NFL route, because Arizona lost last night, who is now the best team in the NFL? Is it Green Bay? Is it Tampa? Is it Dallas? Or is it the Rams? Who is the best team now if it's not Arizona?
Nah. Jeff in Winnipeg, the Slurpee capital, Jeff Kabilis writes in and he says, poll question, should Dupes keep the mustache? Yes or no? Yay or nay? That sucker's not going to last a weekend, though, is it?
Well, I don't know. Halloween's not till Sunday.
Will you keep that?
I might.
If the viewers vote for it?
If the viewers want it, I will keep it. I will keep it. But there's got to be something. Like, I've never done the Movember thing. Remember? And I kind of said, like, in the break that, well, if I did it, the viewers would have to really step up. And I would need to see a daily donation. And as soon as it stopped, the mustache is gone. Okay. But maybe there's a different charity. I don't know.
That?
I don't know.
Christine says the Cardinals are still the best team in the National Football League. Okay. It's Friday. Let's have fun. I feel like that teacher that doesn't want to put the work into doing his or her.
Put on a movie.
Yeah, put on a movie. This is it. I'm done. 2 questions for the rest of the show. And I appreciate Jason and Red Deer for pointing this out. How about worst Halloween candy? That's not going to be the poll question, but I want to talk about it. Because when I was a kid, I thought it was the Tootsie Roll. Never even touched it. Who the hell would want that? Everybody, it's like every third house had Tootsie Rolls, right? And I'm like, what?
I know.
And then I get a little older and have one. I'm like, ooh. Clearly it's apples. What kind of a loser puts fruit in your Halloween bag, your trick or treat? But that aside, what's the worst? I got to think about that for a while. Used to be Tootsie Roll, then apples.
For me, it was if you ever got a little box of chocolate-covered raisins. I hate chocolate-covered raisins.
I hate raisins, period.
Yeah, and that one, or I'm not a peach fan, so fuzzy peaches were out for me, too.
I love it. You could have given them to me.
I know.
Eric Thomas watching on YouTube says, keep it. That's the poll question. That's the poll question. Should Ted Lasso over here keep the stash? On the way, by the way, AJ Jakubec, the voice of the Ottawa Redblacks, because it is game day for them. Friday Night Football. We'll be right back on this FlameTech Football Friday. We'll get to all these great comments when we come back. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Nestled in the scenic Quenneville Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special. Holy.
It's pretty impressive.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. here's Rod.
I'm going to try to have some fun the rest of the way here. I feel like a yard sale might break out, though, and I'll tell you why, because of something that I just saw on Twitter. Okay, I guess I shouldn't be on it, but kind of hard. Our Friday guests, by the way, are brought to you by Wheaton Kia. You can find them in North Regina at the corner of Albert and Avonhurst. I see now it's very clear that the hockey culture is under attack, obvi. But now I see guys are mocking and making fun of the dress code regulations in hockey that you see all the way down to what's the youngest you've seen kids going to the rink in suits?
I've seen the kids at provincials.
Pee-wee?
Yeah, I've seen them want to do it for fun. And then I've seen younger kids just do it for fun, to be like the NHL guys.
So I see guys on Twitter, former NHL players, by the way, mocking it, saying it's so important that the concierge at the hotel and the bus driver see you in a suit. And just so frickin' over arguing. But can I just say that it is about respect for the game, guys? Where did respect in society go? Because it's like almost entirely gone. So go wear a damn tracksuit if you want and look like you're going to the Y. Or wear a suit and look respectable and that you respect the game. Am I completely out to lunch on that? Or
no, the hockey culture thing's interesting because there are some things we've learned that are not good in the culture of the game. But that's not just a hockey thing. We don't need to just drag hockey through the mud. It's just culture in general. We're still evolving from things that have happened in life in all aspects. We continue to evolve. We should be evolving all the time. That's what we do. We learn, we get more information, we evolve, and we grow. We become better people. That's how we should conduct ourselves every single day. The suit thing's interesting because I love it. I love it. Not everybody does. Every team's got to have their own thing. But you know what? Whether it's a suit, whether you go the NFL route and you dress in designer clothes, whatever, you should do it well. You know, it was funny. It was a Jason Claremont quote. I don't know if I got it from you and you're on the site back in the day, but he always said that the last thing he did before he went on the field was brush his teeth.
Wasn't from me.
You know, he'd have his gear on just before putting his helmet on and going on, he'd brush his teeth because he said that's the last thing you do in the morning. That's what you do in the morning to be ready for the day. So that's what I do before I go out in the field to be ready for the game, you know? And that's how you go to work. That's how you put on your uniform. You get your suit on. You look good. You put yourself in that frame of mind that you're polished, that you're put together, that you're ready. You don't just roll out in a baggy pair of dirty sweats and a T-shirt and expect to go do your job at the very, very best. You got to get yourself ready for the game, and that's part of it. Look good, be part of the team, be together.
Look good, feel good.
And you feel good, you play good.
The poll question for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center is, should Darren Dupont keep the Ted Lasso mustache? 90% of respondents on Twitter saying yes, and not only are they saying yes, some are saying never lose it. Television Steve's watching in California says never lose it. You started something here, Moose.
All right.
I'll just say one thing because people love the stories. The coaches with the Pats at one time, and I'll tell you who they were. Curtis Hunt, the older brother I never needed because I already have two.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry Perkins, the old hot winger. Well, he called himself the old right winger. I called him the old hot winger.
Okay.
There's a story behind that because if we ever had a chance to eat on the road, he'd be ordering hot wings.
Yeah.
Anyways, he goes, oh, Roddy, yeah, it depends. Wherever we're going, depends on how well he dresses. If we're going in a Swift Current, he's wearing a sweater and Lululemon pants. If we go into the Saddle Dome, he's got his three-piece suit on, or the Seattle Key Arena or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. Have you been in the Swift Current rink or the Moose Jaw Civic Center? I might get something caught on a nail. And it's not just about those barns. Regina was as bad as any. I was always coming out of there with nicked up in my good suit pants.
Right. And you're climbing ladders and you name it.
So I knew if on the off chance we were doing a game at MTS Arena in Winnipeg, I would not walk out covered in dust all down my best suit. There was a method to my madness. But he goes, I always knew where, if I ever forgot where we were going, I was just look at Rod's outfit and I'd have an idea.
But that's the Tom Brady thing. Not that he says this out loud, but it's an example I use. Doesn't matter. He wears a sweatsuit out in public. He wears a tracksuit out in public. He'll wear designer jeans and a jacket, and he'll wear a suit. But no matter what it is, it's clean, it's pressed, it looks good. It's put together, right?
Right. Just look good.
Just look good.
Adam Ridioff's watching in Hamilton. He's a big Ticats fan. Adam, tell us what you think's going to happen in Edmonton tonight. He's talking about Halloween treats. Adam, yes, I enjoy getting bags of peanuts. Also loved getting Cheesies and O. Henry.
What was the best? Yeah.
I got to say O. Henry bars are my favorite chocolate bars, but I got so many. Crispy Crunches will put me into a sugar coma. I love them so much.
I didn't get O. Henry's in the little treat bag over here, but my favorite is Coffee Crisp.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you remember those old TV commercials? How do you like your coffee? Crisp?
Yes.
Do you remember
How
those?
about that?
Jeff Pedersen, Winnipeg says Bill Belichick and his cut-off sleeves hoodies. Bill Belichick looks homeless. But, you know, when you win 7 Super Bowls, you can pretty much go out there in your gotch and nobody's going to care.
But somebody pull up a photo if you need to contradict me. I don't think he's wearing the cut-off hoodie down the street into the stadium. I think that's hanging in his locker, and he's changing in his coach's office. That's his game day attire. That's different than what he wears in and out of the stadium.
Here's one. Cousin Christine says, your dad says it was the shoes. Well, my dad always said it, and Lauren Mulliken, always have a shine on your shoes. You know what? That's why I'm very particular about my dress shoes. But in my dad's case, it would be always have a shine on your cowboy boots.
Mm-hmm.
Because he would go down to Dallas or on a road trip with the Stars and be wearing a Stars golf shirt, Wrangler jeans, belt buckle, and cowboy boots all the time. And Glenn Gulletson, who's the current assistant coach of the Edmonton Oilers, was at one time the head coach of Dallas. And he told me, I always liked when your dad was on the road with us because there was always a guy that I could go with for supper that wasn't going to be with the gang.
Mm-hmm.
It was always just me and Jimmy.
That's cool.
It's very cool. Now you know why I like to go off on my own, unlike you, Mr. Walmart greeter over here, Ted Lasso.
Can't take me anywhere.
It was at the Husky game last week. Darren's, do you mind if I say?
No, go
Darren's like, you want to go early and go just talk to people on the field and shake hands? How about no, Darren? You go ahead. I'm good. And you
just trying to be nice.
Well, as it was, we went early enough,
anyway.
and I met the president of the university.
No, it was good. It was great.
From Adam, he says, Masoli's going to take the Cats to the big game, boys. He is starting to round into form. Tie Cats by 10 tonight. Holy moly, Jeremiah Masoli. I think it was Ticats Sask was my Grey Cup prediction, but I got to amend that. I will reserve the right to change predictions at my leisure.
It's almost like your name's on the show.
Hey, wouldn't a Hamilton-Winnipeg rematch that's what the CFL needs.
Mm-hmm.
A Hamilton-Winnipeg Grey Cup rematch. That's what they need.
That'd be cool.
Change my mind.
Yeah. You know the redemption story. Brandon Banks maybe has a big game. What do you think?
My buddy, Speedy B?
Yeah.
Don't you think that's what the CFL needs?
That would be
With
cool.
all due apologies to the green and white fans. Because I see Grey Cup ticket sales, what they go on sale on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting these emails from the CFL. And
no, with the scaled back Grey Cup festival or very limited Grey Cup festival, the home team in it. Oh, yeah. That would be amazing.
It would certainly help with ticket sales, wouldn't it?
Certainly help with ticket sales.
I see that there's a party going on in the comments section over here. And we're not invited, apparently.
Which, before we go, the Grey Cup ticket sales?
Yeah.
Just let me drop in the build your bankroll for Bet Regal. You can get in now and enter to win 2 tickets to the Grey Cup. We're going to post the links. There we go. It's already posted. So if you're watching on YouTube, check and click the link in the comments and sign up today. BetRegal's free play sportsbook, the Play for Free sportsbook. You'll be able to get in there, play around over the weekend, make some fun little free bets, and then your bankroll will reset on Monday, November 1st, and all of November. Whoever builds the biggest free bankroll with BetRegal points will win 2 tickets to the Grey Cup in Hamilton.
How about that?
Saying it again, it's free to play, everybody. Go to betregal.net. Sign up if you haven't already. Can you please do it for the rest of the day? What else you got to do?
Yeah, got to use our link.
Yeah, the link right there. So click on there, write it down, whatever you need. And then they'll track it, and they'll give us credit for that. It would really help us out. If you like this show and what we do every day, can you do that? Doesn't cost anything. Just open up your Play Free sportsbook. Now, I got it. I'm not losing any money. I'm not making any money. I'm just doing it for fun.
Yes.
Jim Vancha says $10 to Movember if you keep the mustache. So we've started it already. On the Halloween candy thing, Phil says popcorn balls are the worst. No, they're the best.
With the jujubes in them? Oh.
I wouldn't probably touch one now, but when I was a kid, absolutely.
Full in your teeth.
My aunt Florence makes the greatest popcorn balls known to man. They are unbelievable. Adam in Hamilton says pencils. Who gives out pencils? Right? Like that's where you go back later and throw eggs at their house.
Can I eat this? Is it a candy pencil?
I love everybody rallying to the cause here. Ryan McCarthy, candy corn style pumpkins. Anything candy corn. Yeah. I've never even had it. It just looks like something I wouldn't want. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, before you're going to run out and come back for overtime. We put the camera on Ted Lasso one more time here. AJ's got to see this.
And
hey!
And we'll do the NFL picks in overtime.
Are you sure? Can you remember?
I'll remember. And we got a lot of...
It's disturbing how much you look like Ted Lasso.
We got a lot of stuff to get to. And,
disturbing! We'll be back with AJ from Ottawa. It's a FlameTech Football Friday on the RP Show on Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back to a FlameTech Football Friday, everybody. Just the breaking news on this Friday, and this is why we do daytime sports talk show talk here on Game Plus TV. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said Friday morning that the league will not discipline Winnipeg Jets General Manager Kevin Cheveldayoff, saying he is not responsible for the Chicago Blackhawks' handling of sexual assault allegations against a former assistant coach. Not the case for Joel Quenneville, who resigned Thursday night as head coach of the Florida Panthers. As you know, he was the head coach of the Blackhawks at the time. We're not going to get into that with AJ Jakubec because it's a CFL game day. We've got hockey and football to get to with him, all related to the nation's capital. So, Bud, good to see you. Big game tonight. It's been 5 days since Marcel Desjardins was let go as GM of the Redblacks. Seems to me like a month ago. How do you think that'll affect the team's mindset tonight against Calgary at TD Place?
Honestly, I don't think it has any factor. I mean, it's not the coaching staff, right? It's management. Look, there's people... You know, got like Antoine Pruneau, for example, and he's not playing tonight. Nolan McMillan's not playing tonight. But, you know, people that have been with the organization since day one, people that have won Grey Cups that, you know, aren't all that pleased that Marcel lost his job. So, you know, there's that. I mean, he's got some good relationships within the team, as you would when you've been there for such a long time. But the reality is it's, you know, the same coaching staff. And, you know, unfortunately, from an Ottawa perspective, you know, the two of the three phases have been good this year. The defense gave up 96 points in 2 games against Montreal and BC. And other than that, they've been really good. And the special teams, to me, again, I think under Bob Dice, the best in the league, whether it's Richie Leone's punting, the coverage teams, when Devontae Dedmon's been healthy, most electrifying player in the league for me. And Lewis Ford, the most accurate kicker in CFL history. But, you know, there's one phase where, you know, it's been woefully inept, and that's on offense. I mean, right now, 9 offensive touchdowns in 11 games and, you know, less than 0.9 a game. That's the second worst in CFL history. And as long as the offensive line doesn't get healthier, they do get Mark Gordy back this week, but they got 1 back and lose 2 to injury in Jawan Bushell-Beatty and Tyler Catalina. So, every week it's been a different group of 5, I mean, which is incredible to me. I mean, the year they first went to the Grey Cup with the Redblacks in 2015, they used the same 5 guys all 18 regular season games. And this year it's a different combo every week. And as long as, you know, that group can't give the requisite protection to Caleb Evans and Duck Hodges, and, you know, it's going to be tough sledding for this Redblacks offense.
We got questions coming in from viewers. Guys, remind me, Darren in Salt Lake City's got a good one, AJ. Remind me, Darren in Salt Lake City. But I got to ask you this. I saw the outpouring of emotion from staff of the Redblacks after Marcel was fired. It seemed like the franchise agonized over this move. Is that a fact?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any doubt. And, you know, I know some people talk about the fact that, you know, Marcel isn't the most popular guy in player circles around the league. And in some cases, that's going to be true, right? If you're a CFL general manager, you're not going to be universally popular because you're the one responsible at times for, releasing guys and making tough decisions. That's just the reality of the job. But, there are absolutely players and staff members and part of the ownership group and, decision makers here that had to make this move that, this is not an easy move for sure. He was their first employee back in 2013, working in an office by himself. And let's not forget that, Ottawa football, I mean, I'm 46 years old. The only Ottawa football that I can ever remember that's been good was under Marcel Desjardins, with Rick Campbell as head coach in a 4-year span where they go to 3 Grey Cups and they win one in 2016. So the best span of football that we've seen in this city since the 1970s. So, that shouldn't be forgotten. They did agonize over the decision, but in the end, I mean, they've lost 24 of their last 27 games. And, the common denominator, you've had 2 coaches, right? I mean, he brought in Paul LaPolice after, Rick Campbell ended up going to BC. And that, unfortunately for him, the common denominator is same management, right? So in the end, that's what management decided to do and go in a different direction. And we'll see, where the search goes from here.
Seems very black and white to me, but clearly it wasn't that black and white. So the question here, Darren from Salt Lake City says, ask AJ why the Redblacks stayed out of the quarterback merry-go-round of the past few weeks in the CFL. You clearly needed one somewhere out there. What's the team saying about sticking with their guys they have?
Yeah, I think, they want to get a look at Duck Hodges. They signed Duck Hodges to a 3-year contract, right? So I think they like what they see a little bit out of Caleb Evans, for sure. I mean, he's made some mistakes, no doubt. But it's really difficult to judge these quarterbacks right now. I don't think you could bring in Josh Allen and see him have success, with the different offensive lines. And I think there's some decent skill players here as well, but it's you're not going to mix it for the best in the league. It's, you look at what Montreal's got at the skill positions and Stanback and Eugene Lewis and BJ Cunningham and Jake Winneke and Quan Bray. And it's, right now they don't measure up to that. So, everything on the offensive side of the ball compared to the rest of the league isn't good enough from that standpoint. Do I think they could be involved in the offseason? I think they could, but again, what's going to be out there? I mean, I don't know if Trevor Harris is potentially going to be a fit here. Nick Arbuckle, the guy that got traded, I mean, he was here and they decided to move on from him, right? And go with Matt Nichols. And that didn't work out, but it's not like you were going to go out and bring back Nick Arbuckle or Trevor Harris. So, I do think they'll be looking at that in the offseason. I know when Dwayne Ford was on our radio station, he thought that, this is a team that definitely needed more of a sure thing in terms of a quarterback in the offseason rather than a couple of maybes like Evans and Hodges. So, I would suspect that that's going to be part of what is brought into the offseason from a new general manager, but we'll wait and see.
I think that's covered all the questions from the viewers. Moving on to the Senators, who are 2-4 and 7th place in the Atlantic Division. That's an incredibly difficult division, AJ. I don't know who expected they would make the playoffs, but 2-4 is not as good as I think they would have expected to start. Moose and I were listening to you on the pre and post the other day, driving back from Edmonton. Great job. What's the word on the Sens?
Yeah, I think they've thrown away some points here. I mean, they're up 2-0 against the Rangers, and in the third period and in a 6-minute span, 2-0 became 3-2, and you don't even get a point, and that's tough to swallow. The East is a lot better than the West. I don't expect this team to be a playoff here. I'm just hoping, and I think fans are hoping for the most part, that they take another step. And if this team finishes with 85 points and misses the playoffs, by 8, I think that's a step forward. I mean, last year they were out of it, 15, 16 games of the season. They're 2-13-1 out of the gate, and they had no hope of coming back and making it. So they have to ensure that they nip this in the bud quickly and get, a couple of wins here on the road when they go to Dallas and Chicago and Minnesota. And the last game in particular looks like it's going to be a tough one. But, this team just isn't a playoff team for me yet. There's a lot of great building blocks here, but to me on the blue line, you've got, a really good top pair with Thomas Chabot and Artem Zub. I like the addition of Nick Holden, ex-Western Leaguer out of Chilliwack. But beyond that, I mean, Zaitsev is the top 6 guy, but beyond that, the depth is lacking there. And a lot of the guys that you expect to be kind of long-term cornerstones are either in the American Hockey League right now, and Jacob Bernard-Docker and Lassie Thompson, or, a guy like Jake Sanderson, who's expected to be, a cornerstone piece for this team for a long, long time. And I think Sanderson will probably, he's having a whale of a start this year at North Dakota. I thought he was the best player in the gold medal game last year when the U.S. beat Canada 2-0. And I think there's a good chance he'll be the captain of Team Canada this year. So I think when his season is done at North Dakota, then he's probably coming right to Ottawa. But, that doesn't change the fact that, the guys that are quote-unquote placeholders until these guys are ready are getting caved in right now. So with all that being said, I think, as much as there's a lot of promise here right now, I think they're probably a year away. We'll see if they can at least be competitive enough to make it interesting into the spring.
AJ, wonderful visit as always. It's a game day. Appreciate you slipping us in. Keep in touch, my man.
Pleasure. I'm disappointed you're not dressed up like Beard, though.
I got this. Does that not count?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's
not
something.
as good as Ted, though.
No, not even close.
Dead ringer for Ted Lasso.
I know. I can't touch that one. What's your outfit? Don't come at me.
Oh, I'll think about that. I still have a day to think about that.
Yeah, good point. Good
How
point.
about that?
All right, good luck tonight. We'll be watching, AJ.
Cheers, fellas.
All right, the great AJ Jakubec, one of my longest and closest friends. Overtime coming up next. You're watching the RP show on the Game Plus TV network. Maybe I'll put this baby back on for overtime. It'd be an improvement, right? We got the business of the week, our NFL picks. Hang on. We'll be right back on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC. Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
There it is. It's our Halloween special, everybody. It is our, it's the overtime segment here, brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. I think I'm going to get me some Four Seasons this weekend for all the right reasons, Ted Lasso.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Some boneless Greek ribs, the best anywhere in the world. We got a lot of business to take care of. I put my mask back on. Do you like this with the flow better?
They're both creepy. I like them both. I like them both. Do you scary movie guy?
Ish.
I don't like the ghosts that you never see. It doesn't really do it for me.
Yeah.
I like the jumping out, the actual, the slasher movies.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Exactly. You're like, when you don't know when you're going around every corner.
That's disgusting, but.
You don't know what's coming out. Those are the ones I like.
Maybe I'll do a scary movie this weekend, but I am very excited about the Moose Jaw Warriors, and that's why I'm wearing the gear. Heading to the Rempel Temple tonight to watch the Warriors and the Tigers, and then the Regina Pats, God's team, welcomes the Swift Current Broncos Saturday night. We'll be calling that one. I can barely see the screen because of my mask. I should not be driving with this. Prairie Mobile text line from Deb in Toronto regarding hockey culture and the suit mandate. Deb says, I agree with the suits. Like Darren said, you look good, you feel good, you do good. It is also a sign of respect. Would you go to a funeral in sweats? Absolutely not. From the 587, where does the guy pick up a one-day-at-a-time bracelet? Put the camera on both of us, guys. I got one. Moose has one. Says Pedersen Recovery. DM us. Were we going to make those available in the store? I thought we were going to.
Yeah, we need to.
RodPetersonShop.com. And
if
in
they're
the
not
absence
in there,
of that, DM me.
Yeah.
We're going to do the MySask 411 Business of the Week. I'll say it again. Let's do the MySask 411 Business of the Week for our friends at Direct West. This week it is Body Fuel Organics. Body Fuel Organics is the leading supplier of quality organic fresh food and groceries in Regina. You can order groceries online 24/7 for delivery or pickup, or you can shop in stores on McDonald Street. Body Fuel Organics is a firm believer in the connection between what you eat and how you feel, devoted to providing you with access to food that makes you feel good. Find them at MySask 411 today. Now I want to do that.
Ooh.
These aren't new studies.
Right.
That eat well, feel well. It ain't new.
It's real.
But they can help you out. Body Fuel Organics. Wow, on McDonald Street. Look them up. They're in the MySask 411 app. And also this weekend, download the app. It's on my main screen. It's my favorites. It's a phone book in your hand digitally. That's the MySask 411 Business of the Week. Week 8 in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. It is up to Darren, Ted Lasso, Dupont. It's your time, man, for your picks this weekend for Week 8 in the National Football League. What are we looking at?
Okay, pull them up. There we go. I'm riding your Cowboys again because they have not steered me wrong.
Of course.
And you know what? The fact that hold on to your hat here.
Yep.
Minnesota is favored in the game. 2.5-point favorites.
It's in mini, yeah.
The Cowboys are 5-1. I'm taking Dallas. Dak looks like he's probably going to be ready to go. The reason I think Minnie's favorite, too, is we're not sure about Dak Prescott, but they've got the most balanced team, offense, defense, passing, running, in the National Football League. Tampa, just a 4.5-point favorite against New Orleans, who always plays them well in the division. I don't know that Tampa can continue to just roll through everybody. They're going to lose again at some point, but not this week. And I liked the way San Fran played against Indy at times in that football game. I think they have a chance to play a little bit better. Chicago is just what the doctor ordered for the San Francisco 49ers this week. So I think the 49ers cover that spread. And if you want to go out on a limb, we just found out Baker Mayfield's going to play this weekend.
Yes.
You've got a pretty favorable spread right now when it comes to that game for the Browns. So I'd also take a flyer on Cleveland this weekend as well. And Nelson, on his prop bet, he's taking Matt Ryan to be under 281.5 passing yards against what's been a pretty good Carolina Panthers defense despite a tough record.
We're just pleased as punch to partner with BetRegal.net. They are our exclusive betting partner. Go this weekend and sign up for the Play Free Sportsbook at BetRegal.net. I'm doing it. You're doing it. Yes. We ask you to do it. And starting Monday, you can get rolling with the Build Your Bankroll Challenge. Regarding our special Halloween episode here, Moose.
Yes.
Metal Shingle Guy writes in about the variety of masks that I was looking at yesterday at the Halloween store. He says, I had a Trump mask and nope, can't speak through that hole. That's why it's the RP show. He's quoting me. Remember? There was a plastic, just a little face of Trump, and I'm like, I can't speak through that hole. Guy finds it funny. I paid $35 for this thing, and it's a piece of crap.
How about that?
Forget the broadcasting, forget anything other career. I'm going to go into manufacturing Halloween masks because you only got to work a week a year, overpriced for everything, and spend the rest of your time on a beach.
I know.
In the Dominican.
It's amazing.
Last minute of play in hour 2. Brought to you by Core Grain. I can't even see the screen. Why don't you take the last minute here? This is dangerous for me to be on the air wearing this mask.
You know what? I got you. It's okay. I mean, it's Halloween.
How do welders do it, man?
I know. Well, it is full.
Can't breathe,
and it's got the black
can't
thing.
See.
Can barely see. And yet you're doing these precision welds.
Exactly.
Building really heavy-duty things. I don't know. My brother does it. He's a master at it. So
have a safe Halloween.
You too.
That was for the viewers. You can't tell who I'm looking at. If you're trick-or-treating, stay safe. Next week on the show, Dean Millard talks some Major League Baseball World Series. Mike Benton from the Seattle Kraken, Scott Laughlin, and Tim Hunter. It's going to be great.
Are we brainless?
Yes.
Yes.